Star Wars Issue 68 sees the Empire begin to deploy probe droids throughout the galaxy to look for the rebellion. Rebel Command knows that in a few short weeks the probes will find them unless they give them something else to chase. Han isn't too happy about the fact that the rebels want to use him, Leia, Luke, 3PO and Chewie and R2 as bait, but Leia says that if he wants to, he can just leave, and Han threatens to, but they all know that he won't. Luke tells General Riken to continue his briefing, getting R2 to bring up a hologram of a planet, saying that the probes are getting close to a rebel refueling station on the desert world and they need to get them away, and it's a job for a single pilot like Luke. Han tries to take the job, but Luke agrees to it as Riken says that Han will have another job to do. He brings up a hologram of Lance Carpo, one of the smallest planets in the Imperial core, but it's got the biggest crime rates. Han knows it to be the best place to move whatever you need moved, and while it's close to the Empire, they are never there, and there are never any Imperial troops around, and Leia knows this is because Boss Carpos, the ruler of the planet, is an Imperial collaborator and his syndicate has free reign in exchange for informing on the rebels. Leia wonders if they have a base there, but Riken says they don't, but the Empire thinks they do, and they need to get access to Boss Carpos's comm center and initiate a call to a regional rebel relay drone. So when the Empire intercept the call, they will think that the boss is working for the rebellion and come for him. Han is more than happy to do a sabotage mission, knowing that he and Chewie will actually have some fun on the planet, but the general says that Chewbacca is needed on the next mission since he's their best engineer. Riken says that they will be sending him and 3PO to K-43, an uninhabited world which is under a tectonic disaster. They plan on lacing it with proton detonators and luring as many Star Destroyers they can to the planet and blowing it up, effectively making the planet their own Death Star. 3PO will provide technical support for Chewie. As they ready, Leia wonders what she will be doing, learning that she is to accompany Han to Lance Carpo, but that doesn't sit well with both of them. Riken says that the princess is a known rebel and a diplomat, and if they leak her presence there at the right time, it will sell their deception more and make it seem legitimate. Riken also mentions that Dar Champion will be there since he is the district advocate for Laz Carpo, and since Leia knows him, they might use him to get into the comm center. Riken takes them to their junker of a ship, which they'll use to get to Laz Carpo since the Falcon is too well known and they can't use it, meaning that Chewie will have to take it to K-43. The rebels head out and Chewie heads to the planet, using the turrets of the Falcon to blast some of the incoming rocks that the destabilized planet is throwing up into the sky. 3PO lands the Falcon and they begin their mission, not detecting any life forms on the planet whatsoever. They find a cave which houses the most vulnerable point to the tectonic plates, the only problem being they need to go all the way down to the planet's core, which is filled with toxic gases. As they get on with their job, they are spied on by some creatures. Above the planet Sergia, Luke pulls out a hyperspace above the Superstar Destroyer Executor. He tries to get their attention, but the smart officer on deck of the destroyer knows the lone X-Wing wants them to follow him so they won't engage. Luke lands on the planet knowing that they will have to hunt down the probes on foot. He knows if Ben had been there, he could have used the Force to get them to follow him, but Luke has much to learn and can't do that yet. Heading out into the desert, he tells R2 that he spent his whole life getting off a desert planet only to end up back on one. On Lance Carpo, the disguised Han and Leia enter the spaceport, paying off the guard and telling them the customs already cleared them. Heading to a cantina, they stop for a drink, but Leia witnesses a man being beaten not for paying his bribes, so she pays the guards off for him as the spaceport guard learns that customs didn't clear their ship. Chewbacca meanwhile finishes planting the proton detonators, thanking 3PO for his help, but soon the ground shakes and an eruption begins. Chewie grabs the droid as the ground beneath them breaks away, and they fall towards the lava but are caught at the last minute by a giant rock monster, who saves them and presents them to his people. 3PO scans the being, knowing it is indeed alive, but its scanners don't show any life, since they are attuned to flesh and blood organisms, not rock people, meaning their bomb planet isn't uninhabited like they thought. Han and Leia meanwhile are arrested for interfering with the guards' duties. Han tries to buy them off, but they want to wait for their boss, and Han is worried that they will find out about the bounty Jabba put on him. Leia tells Han to calm down since everything isn't about him, but suddenly the guards are all attacked and knocked down by an unknown man. Leia, however, recognizes the man as Dar Champion, her old schoolmate and friend, who Han immediately doesn't like after Leia takes a liking to him. Star Wars Issue 68 kicked off Greg Pak Pack and Phil Noto's tenure on the book in a great way. The story has been set out perfectly with 3 interconnected plot lines as we head into Empire Strikes Back territory. I'm really looking forward to these 3 stories since they all seem to be almost different genres. Han and Leia's is like a noir crime story in the vein of Blade Runner, Luke's is like a western type hunt on a desert planet, and Chewbacca's looks like classic sci-fi stuff that you'd see in Star Trek. Phil Noto's art is also a godsend to this book and it's never looked better. So much better than the obvious tracing we were getting from the previous artist. There's actual life in the characters now and it's awesome. I'm gonna give this issue a 9 out of 10.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.